The Shantae series has been around for over 2 decades now, and for some reason I just never came around to checking it out. It's always been on my radar though, and when it was announced that a once cancelled GBA entry was being resurrected, I decided I'd finally make that happen. Back in 2023, Limited Run Games revealed Shantae Advance Risky Revolution was back in development and would be released in physical Game Boy Advance form along with collector's edition options. Now pre-orders have started shipping and the finished game is finally available. Since I didn't have any experience with Shantae, I thought it would be fun to dive into the original Game Boy Color game before having a go at Risky Revolution. That way this will feel like an organic review from back in 2004. To recap 2002's Shantae, we learned about a place called Sequinland, which is under attack by the infamous pirate Risky Boots. In Sequinland, there are 4 special elemental stones hidden in labyrinths throughout various forest, desert, and mountain environments, etc. These stones can be used to power a steam engine built by Shantae's creator uncle named Mimic. When stolen by Risky Boots, Shantae's mission is to stop her from obtaining the stones in order to save Sequinland. Pretty straightforward stuff, I'd say. Originally, the follow-up to this was 2010's Risky's Revenge for Nintendo DSiWare. But now we have Risky Revolution, which perfectly fills in not only the story gap but also the series gap on Nintendo's handheld consoles. The title of Shantae Advance already tells us what the plot involves, but let's take a look at the box art for a better synopsis. Filling in the gaps between the original Shantae and Shantae Risky's Revenge, Shantae Advance Risky Revolution sees Shantae protecting Sequinland from a twisted new plot orchestrated by her nemesis, the pirate Risky Boots. Using a secret subterranean device, Risky is able to rotate and rearrange the continent, plunging it into chaos and giving her more coastal cities to plunder. Fortunately, by harnessing this technology and the knowledge of the relic hunters, players will be able to turn the tables on Risky, giving Shantae new paths through environments and a chance to thwart the villain's scheme. If you haven't played a Shantae game before and are wondering what genre they fall under, it's mostly an action platformer, but with Metroidvania elements included. At first, Shantae's abilities are basic. She can run, jump, and attack by using her iconic hair whip. But similar to Samus in the Metroid games, as you venture along to new areas, you'll unlock new abilities for her. What's unique here is her abilities come in the form of transformations. Originally, there are the monkey, elephant, spider, and harpy forms from the original game. Shantae Advance adds a crab and mermaid form for some underwater situations as well. Each transformation can be found by exploring the game's dungeons, which are called labyrinths. And as Metroidvanias go, when you unlock a new transformation, you can use that in a previously visited area to reach rooms that were inaccessible the first time around. This will allow you to find hidden items. To start, the first transformation Shantae will acquire is the monkey, which allows for squeezing into small paths as well as climbing walls. The elephant allows for bashing through breakable rocks, the crab can sink in water as well as place bombs, the spider can crawl on webs and shoot venom projectiles, the mermaid can shoot bubbles and swim through vine entanglements, and the harpy can fly. Hidden throughout the labyrinths too are secondary abilities to these transformations, some of which I just mentioned. Shantae's personal gimmick as a genie is having her own set of dance moves. In Shantae for Game Boy Color, the developers designed her transformations to be utilized via button combinations during a dance sequence. Pressing select starts her dance, and then a specific input would activate whichever transformation. But not only was it melded in that unique way, it was also a musical minigame because you had to match the on-screen rhythm or the transformation would fail, kind of like playing Guitar Hero. I appreciate the novelty in that because of how different it is for a game like this. In practice though, it feels like it's something that could lose its luster rather quickly. Thankfully, in Risky Revolution, the dances are way better optimized. Press R to dance and 1 button to transform. It is such a quick process now that it doesn't feel like it slows you down much while you're on the move. After unlocking a new transformation, there's a section of the menu that displays the corresponding button too, for reference. So after the initial events unfold, laying out the plot of the game, Shantae can begin solving the mystery of Risky's plans by visiting other areas. Obtaining a new map from an NPC will allow her friend Sky's giant bird, Hatchet, to fast travel her to that place or back to an already visited one. I think this is a huge quality of life improvement over the left to right navigation design in the Game Boy Color game. In Risky Revolution, there's no more run button. Shantae automatically runs, which is great and no longer a little bit clunky like before. I did notice her jump physics are a little brought down a bit and she no longer floats that much, but this is totally okay with me. The hair whip is basically the same, however the shops run by Roddy Tops offer a speed and power upgrade in the form of shampoo. Shantae also has other projectiles and power-ups that can be bought here. Another improvement I noticed and appreciated is that gems drop much more generously now. I didn't feel like I had to farm them at all to buy recovery items and other power-ups along the way. Speaking of Roddy Tops, several other characters make a return, including Bolo and the Scuttletown mayor, Scuttlebutt. Probably one of my favorite elements of this game was the writing for this cast. There's humor in just about every conversation, and the dialogue is often self-aware and fourth wall breaking. You can't help but to chuckle here and there. For instance, meeting an NPC by the name of Vapor Werewolf poking fun at the game and offering a side quest. By completing said quest, he will award you with a life container to increase your hearts. Finding other NPCs of his kind will provide more opportunities to do so. The warp squids make a comeback here. However, they are now revamped from before and don't have any assigned mother squids to deliver them to. Instead, you have to collect 100 to unlock a bonus at the end of the game. I thought this was another good change. Instead of making fast travel locked behind this like in the Game Boy Color game, they have now been reworked as a collection item. I did manage to find a lot of them, but I wasn't able to finish 100%, at least on this playthrough. The element that I love to harp on in just about every game is the pixel art and graphics. There's no doubt that Risky Revolution is one of the best looking and most vibrant games in the Game Boy Advance library. The sprites and their animations are super spot on and well done. There's plenty of detail too, like how Shantae has her own idle animation. There's variety in every town and labyrinth or crypt you'll visit, which is also true for the Game Boy Color game. I wouldn't say I had any trouble with the difficulty here. I think the game is fairly easy overall. The bosses might give you a hard time until you quickly learn their patterns, but it never gets to a brutal point or anything. Instead of earning and or losing lives, you'll just start over from a previous save point. And falling into pits will cost just a few hearts. There is still a presence of puzzle solving too in some areas, so if you like that in your action platformers, you'll encounter it here on occasion. Risky Revolution does have a quality soundtrack. Every song sounds appropriate for the corresponding location, however, I didn't feel like it was exceptional by any means. Overall, the content provided in this game for GBA standards is certainly excellent. It truly feels like a genuine evolution from the first Shantae game. Everything that makes the first game a cult classic is enhanced and executed even better this time around. And I believe playing both games back to back made that really evident to me. I don't think you have to play the first one before this, but like any series, you'll be able to appreciate it a little bit more and you'll feel much more familiar with the lore. There were just a few things that I thought missed the mark for me. I don't understand why there's no options menu at all. That means no difficulty setting or anything else. There's 3 save file options and a multiplayer mode, but that's it. Also, not every transformation was made equal. Some of them will naturally be seldom used, like the crab. I thought its use case was very limited, but I'd like to have seen it take advantage of some more. On that same token, there were times where I would have liked to be able to change from transformation to transformation. You always have to revert back to Shantae in between, but I feel like that could be adjusted. The length of this game is perfect too, like something under 10 hours on this platform is all you need, especially if you're not dumping dozens of hours into RPGs or strategy games. The pacing feels right. There was only one moment that I had some trouble determining my next destination, but otherwise I felt the progress had a nice flow to it. Overall, I'm super glad I waited for Risky Revolution to begin my Shantae career. These 2 games were a blast. Now I can't wait to get to the rest of the games in the series. I had made a pre-order for the Shantae Advanced Collector's Edition, but unfortunately that will have to be its own video. Limited Run Games provided an updated shipping estimation of late July, so look out for that video around that time. As of the timing of this recording, my channel has finally qualified for YouTube partnership, so I'd like to take a moment to thank you all for your support. It means a lot. When I started this project, I didn't know where it would lead, but it has been a really fun time making this kind of content. Shantae Advance Risky Revolution is slated to hit all the usual consoles this summer, so I hope that if you like this video, you'll give it a chance and pick up a copy. If you're going to play any GBA game this year, make it this one. So I'd like to know, what game was your introduction to the Shantae series? And what's your favorite transformation? Let me know in the comments, and thank you for watching.